I'm back, as promised. Here's Joan, Jett, and the Blackhearts. The year's 1982. They're somewhere in Germany. Joan Marie Larkin, born in 1958, American singer, songwriter, and actor. She's best known as frontperson of her band, the Blackhearts, which emerged from the wreckage of her first band, the seminal Runaways. The Blackhearts had a #1 hit with I Love Rock and Roll and several other charting songs. She is known as the godmother of punk, even while not being a full-fledged punk. The Blackhearts were inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015. She was born near Philadelphia, the eldest of three. In '67, they relocated to Rockville, Maryland. She began guitar at 13. Another move brought her to LA. She took the name Jett to sound like a rocker. And she was into glam. That's what they had at that time. Sandy West and Joan were the first Runaways. Mickey Steele, Jackie Fox, Lita Ford, and Sherry Curry came soon after. And Curry was the lead vocalist, but Jett sang and played rhythm guitar and wrote the lyrics. There were 3 studio albums, and Jett sang lead on the second and third, as Curry had left after the Runaways. Jett produced the Germs. They only had 1 album, but Joan Jett produced that. Yeah, Sherry Curry quit the Runaways after the first album because, reasons. Joan began a solo career and recorded with Paul Cook and Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols. The result was a cover of I Love Rock and Roll, which became a #1 hit, and I'm just hoping they don't throw a commercial in on this set. I saw that little yellow rectangle. I'm not sure of where it's going to fall in line, but if they do, I'm going to have to put some kind of covering over the camera at that time. So if you see my big old thumb coming in, but you still hear my voice, that's going to be what happened. Let's see how quickly I can get that done if that comes up. Back to Joan. Joan Jett decided she needed a band, but she was done with the drama of the Runaways. And all the Blackhearts, both past and present, are male. Sherry Curry had the charisma. Her blonde demeanor was shadowed by Jett's snarl and razor blade eye darts, not to mention her black hair. They were 2 sides of a magnetic charge, and they canceled each other. They canceled each other's sex appeal to an extent. On stage and in publicity photos, which added to the overall picture. And when Curry left the Runaways and Joan took over the lead singing spot, the light went out. The charisma was gone. No counterpart, no matter how hard Joan rocked. And Curry left not because of friction with Joan. They both fed off that. Curry left because of the Runaways manager who used and abused the teenagers that made up the Runaways. Jett needed Curry more than Curry needed Jett, as Curry had a twin sister to return to, which she did, and they made some great music as Sherry and Marie Curry. And Joan was a survivor. She was private to a fault about what she saw happening with the Runaways and their dictatorial and perverted manager, Tim Foley. Those girls owed him, he thought. He made them famous. Jett survived the abuse. She was tough as nails, always the strongest of the five, and she may have been spared the worst part of Fowler's abuse, since Joan, although she never told anyone, as it was no one's business, Joan liked women, not men. It was obvious. But Joan was determined to make it due to her talent as a musician, not as a sexual deviant, which in the 80s was the way women were treated. An awful, incredible story, and Joan came out on top. She is now an icon of feminism, an activist in animal rights, a committed vegan, and still a very tough interview. She reinvented herself with the same traits. She just made the best of a tough situation, and Joan and Sherry Curry are friends today, and Tim Foley is dead and gone. But thanks to all the documentaries about the Runaways, he is not forgotten, but not with fond memories, I am sure. It was not long after forming the Blackhearts that Joan reached inside herself for the spark from the first season of the Runaways. She fanned the spark into a raging jet black inferno. Here are her albums. One, Joan Jett in 80, re-released as Bad Reputation. Their track Make Believe, soft and then hard. And that's before the Pixies, before Nirvana did all that. You don't know what you got. Pop, You Don't Own Me. That's a Leslie Gore cover. A different Joan is revealed. Do You Want to Touch Me? That's the best track if you ask me. I love that track. That's not her song either. Is that Eddie Money song? I don't know. Doing All Right with the Boys. Uh-oh, here we go. Caught him.
Message from Medicare.
Yeah, I don't want a message from Medicare. You fucks. Man, I may, be on Medicare, but I don't need a message about it. I want to hear Joan Jett. Bam. Sorry about that. Whoop. Come on back, Joni. Electronics. And her second album went out in 81. It had this song, I Love Rock and Roll, on it. I'm Gonna Run Away. Miss the girls some, Joni? Bet she doesn't like to be called Joni. If so, I apologize. Holy cow. So, here's a question. What color are Joan's eyes? Are they black? Are they crimson and clover? Well, her version of Crimson and Closer is stellar. Bits and Pieces, that's a Dave Clark 5 cover. It's the 80s, and I don't hear synthesizers, so I give you a wow with 2 exclamation points there, Joni. I did it again. I'm going to have to pay you for that. All right, her next album in 83, Fake Friends, Nothing to Lose, Handyman, that's not the James Taylor song. Everyday People, that's a Sly Stone cover. 100 Feet Away, Secret Love, French song. Whispering, Joan Jett. Everybody needs a little of Joan Jett whispering sweet nothings in your ear. I certainly don't mind it. Tossin' and Turnin', that's a Bobby Lewis cover. Why Can't We Be Happy? I love Playing with Fire. Star, Star in 84. Glorious Results of a Misspent Youth. Cherry Bomb remake. She's missing the frustrated. Don't do this, don't do that, don't go out. Come Right Back. Hold Me, Long Time to Get You Off My Mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, Talking About My Baby. Next in 86, Good Music, and it is. And then next is Up Your Alley in 88. And next is The Hit List. Thinking that might be a comp. 8's Notorious in 91. 9's Pure and Simple in 94. 10 Naked in 04. 11 Sinner in 06. And 12 Unvarnished in 13. So it's been almost 7 years since we've heard from Joan Jett. I hope she's doing okay. Anybody know anything? Go ahead and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear about it. And I wonder how much of my show is going to be able to make it onto YouTube, because, you know, sometimes they won't put it out there if I throw it out enough names. And then I have to go back and edit stuff out just so I can get it through to you guys. If you ever see me do a show and it just ends like that, that's why. Electronics.
You always screaming out, la, 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 la,